Oh, Charles Yankel.
Shalom. How you doing, Rabbi?
Okay, good.
What's it called? I think I do the link. And just give me a second.
Great.
What's the share on? And I'll just put
What's
it out
that?
when what's the share on?
I was going to do Tzfas Emes on the Meraglim.
Tzfas Emes.
I just want to see if I can. I'm just going to sign out myself and then try to come back in. How do I sign out?
On the Parsha, right?
Yeah.
What Parsha is it?
Shlach. Shlach Lecha. It's different over here than it is over there.
Yeah. Alrighty.
How do I sign myself back in? I want to sign out and sign in the Neve so that I can send it out on Facebook. Any idea how to do that?
I think you have to be the host to do that, right?
Yeah, but I have to lead the meeting and then sign in, doesn't it?
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Shalom, Daniel. How are you?
Good, Baruch Hashem. How are you?
Okay, let me see. Oh, very nice. Shalom Yossi. Let me see. Good. I just want to, I'm not sure how to sign out and then sign back in as in the day. Because I want to sign out so I'm just going to go out for a second. I'll be right.
Yaakov,
Hey, what's up, Yos?
what's the latest?
Not much.
Paintball tournament?
Yeah, I'm actually getting in a whole bunch of stuff today.
Tell me about it. What is it exactly? You're renting a spot and you just shooting up the place?
I found some fields that we got hooked up with. Not renting.
Paintball.
Yeah,
Where?
in Lakewood.
What do? You have like an actual tournament, like leagues type of thing?
Yeah, pickup games. Yeah.
Sick.
I'm crazy.
Did you actually do this in the past? You did this last year?
Never did it.
That's sick.
All right, good. Shalom Yossi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Shalom.
Things are opening up over there now? Israel's back to normal?
Almost. More or less. Yeah. More or less. People, like my shul, they wear masks. Other places, they're not so comfortable. They're not so careful. Anyway,
Don't have 1 point.
What? Telstone now got a few people back, so they gotta close it down. They've been very strict in Telstone, extremely strict. But Baruch Hashem, they haven't any problems. Does anybody know how to sign out and then sign back in under? I need to want to sign out of my account and sign in under a Nevada. Anybody know how to do that?
Fly. Yaakov?
Anybody know? If not, we'll just learn and then I won't send it. I won't put it out on because I have to be the whatchamacallit. I got to be the host, but I can only do that if I can sign out and then sign back in as a neve, but I don't know how to do it. So since I don't know how to do that, so let's learn.
Rabbi, I think what you need is if you go to like zoom.com and you can sign in. When you sign in, you might be able to sign in as a Neve.
Okay, good. So give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec.
Shalom.
Give me 1 second. We're going to step out for 1 second. I'll be right there. I'm going to see if I can
Does anyone know when the quarantine is off of Israel? If there's like a tourist could come to Israel?
They haven't announced anything like that yet.
I don't know. I hear.
Guessing like middle of July.
They've already called off all flights until the end of July.
Oh wow.
No, they haven't.
July 31st, everything's cut off.
False.
Saw on Dance Deals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe El Al, but other airlines are still flying.
I know United Airlines, I think, is flying.
They are, right? But yeah, there's still restrictions though.
Right.
Like what? What kind of restrictions?
You got to be Israeli or married to an Israeli that's coming in together, or pretty much that's it.
So by like Yom Kippur, Sukkot, it's all good.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good. Let me just get this out here. Thank you, Daniel. That was very helpful.
So what did Rebbe do exactly?
So I went on my,
Log-
I signed in on the Neve account. So once I sign in the Neve accounts, I become the host.
Beforehand, because it's very hard for someone to get married in America and make that.
Got it.
Here we go. Okay, sorry for the delay. I think we're on.
Hi, Rabbi Charlop.
Shalom, Sammy, how are you?
Baruch Hashem.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're on. Okay, we're on. Okay, here we go. Sorry I've kept everybody waiting. Let us see what we can do over here. Okay, so this piece is going to be a very fascinating piece. Some of you guys have it in front of you. And either way, it's a very big yesod. This is like one of these pieces. It's like I don't want to like overstate it, but it was like it's kedai to come down to Olam Hazeh to learn a piece of Tzfas Emes like this. I'm just telling you, but besides being geschmack, but it's a huge yesod. All right, so I sent it out. It says like this. There's a very important stuff. Now I want to tell you, this Tzfas Emes is going to basically have two sides to it. The first part is the main, in my opinion, the main episode, and then he follows up and he puts together some very nice things. So he gives an overview. And I also want to apologize. Last week I did the Parsha, I did Shlach, and then happens to be that you guys are in Shlach this week, and we're in Korach already. All right, so I realized we got to be taking care of our audience. So he says like this: Be'inyan nisoyin hamaraglim. Again, this is one of the most difficult parshas because everybody, besides Yeshua and Kolev, don't get it right. It's one of the most. It can be terribly unsettling, this parsha, because you think well, everybody, Moshe told us what to do, so we could have followed Moshe, but when we had to work it through ourselves, basically everybody got it wrong except for two people. Again, the women got it right. So it's just unsettling. Does that mean we're getting everything wrong as a generation? So no, but because we're learning as the time goes on. He explains as follows, and he points out a very important paradox. Kihem hayu hador shekiblu haTorah mehar Sinai. This was not just any generation. This was a generation that received Torah at Har Sinai, right? These are like the highest. The Knesses Eretz Israel, Hayatikun Abriya. Now, what would have they been accomplished had they gone into Eretz Israel? They would have fixed up the entire creation. Ke'inyan Shena'om Zal, as Chazal tell us, my time of Pasuk Bereshis. What was the reason that the Torah starts off with the Bereshis? Why don't we just go right to the mitzvahs, like Rashi tells us in the beginning of Sefer Bereshis? Koach Masav Higi La'amo. He wanted to tell the strength of his actions to his people. Simple pshat is, he made the land. He wanted to show them that the land is his. Like Rashi says, he can give it to who he wants. He can take it from who he wants. And he gave it initially to the 7 nations, took it from them, and he gave it to us. V'zeh ha'aris Torah. Now the idea is like this. What do you mean he wants to give us the Torah? How does that work? So he says, Shahu toch ma'isa bereshis, which is the Torah, which is inside ma'isa bereshis, which means there's the land, the physical land has a Torah to it. There's a spiritual aspect to our physical existence. And Eretz Israel is the place that the Torah is embedded in the physical reality of Eretz Israel. Now, I'm not saying that, listen, Baruch Hashem, I'm happy to be here, but everybody has to have a connection. Even if this is not the time for you guys to come, it's a shaila, but Eretz Israel has to be imprinted inside of us. The Himayla Rama, it's an extremely high level. He says a beautiful word over here. This is almost like Reb Tzadok, like we've been learning. The pasuk says, how much is your good that you hid? So the simple pshat that you and I will hear on this pasuk is that the tzaddikim, they work hard in this world, and what benefit do they have? So the pasuk says, Rav Tuvcha Tzavantra L'Riacha. You have hidden away great good, great reward, amazing things for your tzaddikim in the future. But the Tzfas Emes is saying that he's saying is that in this country is hidden away the lights of the Torah. Right? One of the big Talmidim, I think we've mentioned the story before, Rabbi Nachum Mendel of Vitebsk, who came and lived in Tveri at the end of his life. He said that when he came to Israel, he was told by the Talmidim of the Baal Shem that every stone over here was a diamond. And he got here and he didn't see it, and he fasted and he cried until he saw that every stone was a diamond. The idea is that Eretz Israel and the beauty of Torah is hidden and is implanted everywhere over here. But however, it's going to be extremely challenging. The Sakin Mila, the Kaima B'Uvda, to fix up something which is through our actions, through our doing. Because the Isa Bazaar, I don't know what the Zohar is referring to over there, but we'll see right away that learning Torah as opposed to living Torah is a much different level, and one is much, I don't call it easier. Learning Torah is not necessarily easy, but what's the finding of Torah in the earth, finding it around us in a physical way and bringing it out, that's the challenge of coming to Eretz Israel. The Harayah, what's the Raya? What's the proof? Why do we see that it's so hard to come to Eretz Israel and bring out the Kedusha? Shahari hayu muchanim l'kabos Torah. Baratzim, Sholem. It says that Klal Yisrael, we just had Shavuos, right? So whatever, this month we had Shavuos. And it says that we all know, we tell our children, we say it ourselves, they wanted the Torah. Nasa v'nishma, sheikdimu nasa v'nishma. They wanted, please, we want the Torah. Well, the Bechinas Eretz Yisrael, hayu kosher lahem lavo. But when it came to Eretz Israel, they couldn't come. Now, I just want to tell you, one of the things that I suggest everybody do is sit with a kasha. There are certain kashas I know I've sat with mamish dozens of years. This is a kasha you can sit with, and you can push it, put it into your kishkas, put it into the hard drive, and just look for an answer. Smell out answers. When you hear a drasha, you'll read something. Keep your eyes open for this question. He's basically saying, on Shavuos, we were all excited. Nasa ben Nishma, we want the Torah, right? And then all of a sudden, Eretz Yisrael, oh, we can't make it. What happened? This was a generation which was yearning for Torah. It was excited about Torah. And all of a sudden, what happened? This is a great generation. Where did they all go? What happened to the people? So what was going on? Eretz Yisrael was still in the hands of the Canaan. So therefore, the fact that Canaan was here meant that the Kedusha, the Klipa, which we have talked about before, and you guys have heard before, it hid Kedusha. We couldn't find the Kedusha. It was difficult to come across. Therefore, Nira ki lo hisigu hamaraglim liros tov haaretz. Therefore, the Meraglim, they didn't see the good in the land. And here means the good means the spiritual connection. They didn't see, what are we accomplishing doing this? This isn't going to bring us closer to Hashem. Could exceed im yiru, again, because the Pasuk says they're not going to get this. I'm not going to show them, let them come to Israel. They're not going to allow to see it. What does that mean? They didn't see what was going on in Israel. They didn't perceive what was the depth of what was happening. Omer, they said, Tov ha'aretz. They said the land is very good. So again, when we're talking about Tov, we're not talking about that they have good fruits. Is it a pretty land? Right? The question is, the Tov that the Tzfas Emes says Hashem hid in the world, and particularly in Eretz Israel, is that was the good that was what they're talking about. So when you read the Psukim, and you're going to see that Yeshua and Kaleb are going to say, no, the land is very, very, very good. The good is Torah. The good is Torah, which means they said, Hashem revealed to us the good, which means the Torah, which is in all of the physical reality of Eretz Israel. Im chapitz banu v'nosnu lanu daika. He says he gave it to us. He gave us Eretz Israel, which means he wanted us to connect to it on the deep level. Hagam, even though Shadayin Eina Bahis Galus, even though they understood that the light of Torah that is in Eretz Israel was not yet revealed, Hevinu sheyesh ba tov haganos. They saw that there's a hidden light. All right. So what we're saying over here so far is he's going to say a little bit more. I'm kind of pausing just to get a perspective of where we're up to. Basically, we want to deal with this overwhelming question of how could it be that the Meraglim fell short in wanting to come to Eretz Israel and the Yidden didn't come to Eretz Israel. They were so excited about Torah. And the Tzfas Emes says, because Torah is here, but it has to be extracted. And being extracted is a very, very challenging process. As you gentlemen know, I wanted to just make a point that you guys are pretty much all involved, I don't know Avrami so much, in making parnassus for yourself, for your family. Shabbos is easier, Yom Kippur is easier, Yom Tov is easier, right? If a person was to say, Baishlam, how would you like me to live in this world so that I could be Megala, reveal the Kedusha and all the greatness in this world? So you'd think, I'll say Tehillim, right? I'll learn Daf Yomi. Whatever it may be, you'd think that would be the best way of doing it. The Bible says, no. He says, Samuel, why aren't you going to work? Yossi, we got some deals, right? Avrami, there's some deals you're supposed to be making. I don't know if you're up to doing it yet. But everybody's busy, but that's the question is not just what's the purpose of, but how does this bring me closer to a connection to Torah? It seems to be going the other way. And Eretz Israel in particular, right? What are we gaining out of apparently going backwards in an avoda? Ach ba'Hashem al timrodu. Yeshua and Kalev said to the Meraglim, don't rebel. What does that mean? Ki bevane omru Meraglim. The Meraglim said, Emes ki bihiyosam b'midbar hayatov lahem. There's no question when the Meraglim and the Jewish people were in the midbar, it was good. The near lehem, and it seemed to them, shechas shalom, yeah, you read it, but can you saw some la'aretz? And they thought, if we go to Eretz Israel, we're going to drop. And it's interesting that he says, you think like, but it's true. You go to Eretz Israel, it's not going to be the same if you have 40 years of Shabbos, right? If 40 years of Shabbos, I don't know, guys, how Corona was for some of you guys, but for some of us, like, was nothing going on. You know, that you could have a chance to learn, you had a chance to daven, like, you know. So finally, like, what's the Shabbos? You finish Shabbos, you think, oh, I need another Shabbos, I need another day. Like, I don't want to rush, it's so geschmack, feeling connected, right? So they thought, like, we're better off in the midbar than we are going into the land. Achein, however, be'emes b'nei Yisrael nivru ba'olam. Rabosai, please, if you can keep this in mind, the reason we were created in this world, laheid ala bari yizbarach, is to testify on the greatness and the existence and the greatness of the Bari Shalom. L'sakein kol habriya. If you want to know what's our job is to fix up the entire world. And that's what we should have been thinking. We're doing Hashem's shlichus b'olam lo l'garmayu. I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for him. This is what the Rabbi Shalom wants. I want to do it for him. Now that doesn't mean, gentlemen, you can't buy whatever, a BMW, right? You want to go buy, you get yourself a BMW. First of all, you're probably going to lease it anyway. Jews don't buy BMWs, and they only lease BMW. But if you want to lease, go lease your BMW, right? The question is, what are you going to do with it? But it's all there for the taking. It's all there for the elevating. So we thought, this doesn't make sense. We're going to go down. This isn't going to be helpful for our Avoda. This isn't going to bring us closer. But that's because we're not doing the shlichus. Baruch says, this is the shlichus I want for you. I want you to go down to the world and pick it up. So see, for some of us, by the way, some of us yeshiva guys have like a harder time. You know, Daniel and some of the other guys over there, you know, like the Chabadskers, they're like, what do you mean? Like, this is Pasha. Like, of course, you go into the world and you're uplifted, you know, in order to like, so you don't get overwhelmed, you have to have a few shnat, you know, you have to make a few l'chaim so you don't get like burnt out. But l'maisa, that uplifting the world is like a double Pasha, right? So, but a lot of us didn't hear that, which is unfortunate. And therefore, then we have a bigger zechus when we do what Hashem wants. Biyoser says, even if we go down, you want me to go to work? You have a shlichus for me? I'm going to go to work. My Rebbe, Zatzal, Rebbe Azriel Tauber, some of you guys have read his books, whatever. He was, I don't know how he maintained such a perspective, but he had no interest in business. The only thing he was interested in was how he was supposed to be affecting people. Because it was always like, Bunch is going to bring me the money, or like, the money's either going to come this way, it's not going to come this way. Like, I don't have to worry about it. What's really happening? The only thing that's really happening is my interaction with people. That's the only thing that I'm really doing, right? So I'm dealing with this guy. I get all like bent out of shape, you know. Come on, I got to do it. You know, we got to do another deal. So I get worked up, right? And that guy's going to say, "Oh, that's how you guys. That's how you Jewish guys act." I'm sure you guys will probably have plenty of stories, right? But they're interested. So because we think that getting all whatever that's going to bring the money, it won't, and we know it. But because the shlichus is to make Kiddush Hashem. So that just something that my Rebbe Tauber was extremely his perspective on it was highly, highly unusual. But let's continue. That's the idea when it says that Hashem's eyes are in Eretz Yisrael. From the beginning of the year until the end of the year. But he's going to say another, like, classic Chassidish pshat. Viksiv, tov achris dover meireshisa. It's better at the end of the thing than from the beginning. The simple pshat is, when you start something, it's good, but the purpose is to get to the achris. The purpose of this world is Torah is called. Listen, David, I don't see you, but it's fine because I just want you to hear this. When you and I open up a chumash, right? We say Bishvil. So we say Bereshis bara Elokim. So Rashi says Bishvil Reshis. Torah is Reshis, right? But the Reshis is not the purpose. The purpose is to take the Reshis and to bring it into an achros, to bring it into a situation where we go into the land, we go into the deeper place, we go into where we're distant. And because the Baruch sent us and said, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to Mitzrayim. I want you to leave the Midbar. This is what I want. Now, we don't necessarily have to understand how that works, right? But we're a shliach. So we just do, that's what the Baruch says. That's what he wants. He understands that that's the greatest thing for us neshamas to do. So we go. V'hinei Torah nikra reishis. Torah is called reishis, like we were just saying before. V'chein b'chlal dora midbar haya b'chinas reishis. And it happens to be that this idea of the beginning, the excitement, right, which is reishis, that was what the Dora Midbar about. They were the beginning of the Jewish people. Like the Zohar says. Kan zochoyim l'mahavi reishim. We became the beginning. Which means we're the beginning, the Dora Midbar was the beginning of us as a people. And I just was thinking now, Tzfas Emes doesn't say this, but we're called Ikvasita Mashiach, right? Which means we're the end. We're the purpose for why this is all happening. Because we're the ones that are so physical. There has never, ever been a generation that is so involved on a physical level and so comfortable and has so much bracha. Not in Spain and not in Germany. I read a book recently, and he was talking about life in Vienna in the 1880s, 1890s. You know, we take for granted, if you're here and you want to get to the store, so you get in a box, and the box is heated, and you can listen to music in your box, and now you can, it's going to be soon, you're not going to have to do anything. The box is going to go all by itself, right? Because in this book that I was reading 100 years ago, the fanciest of the fancy of the fancy, we used to drive in carriages, middle of winter, and it's cold. You have a little candle inside, but it's freezing. We're not even aware of it. So we're the achris. We're the ones that are bringing this connection, that we're supposed to be making this connection of the achris, that are the rashis and the achris, pulling it all together. Fine. Pause. That's the basic idea. So I hope the gentleman, at least this idea is coming across, which is the purpose of Torah. Again, the question of Tzfas Emes is, how was it we were so excited for Torah and then we fell so short? Because we were connected to a concept of rashis. Rashis is in the head, right? Goes to the top. But it was all about bringing it down into this world, right? So all of us have to be doing, have to be active. And even though it drags us down, I'll have you know, this is a big help for me. I just want to tell you. Because it used to be, and it still is kind of, but this piece of Tzfas Emes has helped me a lot. It happened to be, I'm a little bit of a stickler when people are listening and not really listening. It makes me like a little mashug. But the Tzfas Emes says that everybody's supposed to be involved in getting involved in this world and uplifting this world. So you guys are doing Amish. I'm doing I'm not doing the real work. I'm like I'm just sitting here in my office in the living room. But you guys, so you're listening to Torah and you bring it into this world and you're trying to uplift this world. That's what it's about, right? So when I see you guys on the computer and looking at the screens and seeing what deals you're making, it's just like, nachas. They're uplifting the world, right? Because you also have to have money for Gimel Tammuz, all the important stuff. Okay, now, Okay, now we're going to talk about a little bit more. That's the basic idea. But just, again, keep the question in your pocket. How was it the generation, the Dor Midbar, was so high, wanted the Torah so much, Nasa and Ishma, and then bang, they're not going into the land. Because they had a certain relationship to Hashem and to Torah, and that relationship, they didn't understand how it was supposed to come down, how it was supposed to drop, right? And honestly, in this generation, we could really ask ourselves that even though, of course, we're trying to uplift it using our Zooms and whatever, but anyone who's thinking or feeling can say, wow, seems like we've gotten sucked in pretty good. Like it's hard to know exactly what benefit we're getting over here. And the answer is that's not our job. The Baruch Shem put us on a shlichus. He put us on a job, and our job is to be erlich and to know that that is where he wants us. Okay, now, we'll go a little bit more. Oh, so much nice thing. I just don't think we're going to get through the whole thing. But this is now like kind of going into the second part. Now, one of the things that's unusual in this parsha is right after the parsha of, right after they leave, they finish with the Meraglim, right? They finish with the Meraglim, no, you can't go to the land, 40 years, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, whoa, terrible tragedy. And then all of a sudden, the next parsha is, when you're going into the land and you make an offering, right? So we're going to talk about Nesachim. You have libations, like things they pour on the altar. And it's also going to be talking about the mitzvah of Challah. What does Challah have to do with anything? How did Challah get into the parsha? Zok Tzfas Emes. Zok Tzfas Emes. He says, Shelo yekablu tarumas hameraglim, in order that they shouldn't accept the complaints and the thinking of the meraglim, ki bihiyos shebemidbar haya lehem lechem min hashemayim. They thought, wow, when we're in the midbar, we get lechem mamish right from Hashem. Uba'aretz haya lehem lechem aretz. And over here we got physical bread. What kind of? It's no comparison. Im kol zeh, ksiv, it says v'haya ba'al chalchem. Excuse me, when you'll eat it, tarimu l'Hashem, you should uplift it. V'zeh ha'chelik shechal olov shem shemayim. And the part of the bread, which is the challah, which is now has Hashem's name on it, it's called tarimu l'Hashem. It's uplifted to Hashem. Even though when it was Torah, we used to give it to the Kohanim. He says meirim kol olechem. It uplifts, when a person takes off the challah from the dough, it uplifts the entire dough. Who choshev lefanav yizbarach. That's choshev to Rabbi Shem. That avodah is choshev. We should tell our wives. When they sometimes wonder, when they're taking the challah off, what are they doing? Tell them they are totally uplifting the bread, and it's considered, the Tzfas Emes says, it's choshev to Hashem. It's not choshev if he gives us free bread. He gives it to Hashemayim. That's not choshev. It's choshev when we uplift it, and we uplift it by taking apart, giving it to, again, so today we burn it, right? Trumat Meya. But that process is that's what the Meraglim being told, or we were being told after the Meraglim. Don't think, oh, you dropped, oh, you don't have the same opportunities. No. You can still uplift. You can still be uplifting things. You can still use that which is in this world, and just the opposite. You can do things that they can't do in the midbar. You might get sucked in. You're right. That's right. Then we have to be focusing on our shlichus. Because of Bahaya, Loshen Simcha. The back parsha starts out with the Loshen of Bahaya, which the Gemara tells us means Simcha. Why? There's a Simcha when we uplift the physical bread in this world. That's a Simcha to Rabbi Shem. The Isa Alash Hashem Yisbarach, Osher v'sei mech b'chelka. It's, so to speak, the Rabbi Shem is a Sameg b'chelko. He's happy with what we're doing here. And the part that he gives us, Kibi Yochel gets happy. Shezev Ritzoni Yisbarach, b'bnei Yisrael shebocha l'chelko min ha'tachtona. He wanted us in this world, and of all the nations down in this world, he wanted us. Imeyos. It's hard for, and everyone's busy, but there's certain lines in Tzfas Emes, it push it like Wow, it's hard to hold on. Even though the angel of Rami, remember this one, the neshamas of Yidden are higher than the Malachim. If you're not sure whether that's true or not, go to Tzfas Emes Shlach L'cha Tav Reish Mem Hey. That was the year he wrote it, and it says on the second column, third line on the first column over there, Shenishmosam Lamala Min HaMalachim. Hayasimcha Lefonav. It was a simcha by the Rabbi Charlop, but Yeridoson La'olam Hazeh, when that they would come down to this world, Ulaharim Chelik HaKedusha, and they would uplift the Kedusha, Mitoch Zeh HaTarubas. From this big mixture, from this big cholent down here, this big challenge, that's a simcha the Rabbi Charlop has. Because of that, Notzach Moshe Rabbeinu, alav Shalom, as a malach, and that's what was happening in the Gemara in Shabbos, right? Peiches, that he was having a big fight. Why should we give you the Torah? Because he told them, this is what he was telling them. He wasn't if you look at the Gemara over there, Baruch tells him, Moshe, he says, the Malchim want to know, why do you get the Torah? So he tells them, I can't answer, they're going to burn me up. No, don't worry, hold on to my keys, covered, no problem. So he says, do you have Shabbos? Do you have Kibbut Avdeim? Do you have, like, what was the Shiloh? What was the Havamina? What's the Teretz? Like, what was he telling them? Of course they don't have Shabbos. Of course they don't have Kibbut Avdeim. What's the Havamina? The Teretz is he was telling them that you don't have the avoda that we have. We have a avoda that go down. Parents are a nuisance in general. Like if your parents are not a nuisance, you're very fortunate. My parents, Baruch Hashem, were not nuisances. Well, it doesn't mean we didn't have certain challenges, but parents in general it's a big, right? But the Torah says Moshe Rabbeinu told them that we have an avoda over here you have no shaychus to. He was not just telling him, well, we have kibbut avim, you don't have kibbut avim. Like that doesn't tell us. He was telling him, Tzfas Emes says that you don't have the reality of what we're trying to do and accomplish over here. That's why we should get the Torah. V'hori the Torah l'olam hazeh. K'di'iz v'gemara ma ksiv ba. We told him don't steal, etc. Shedeh kolchen she'Yisrael, and he says it again. That's the kolch of Klal Yisrael. Shenishmosan gavoa ma'od. They have really high neshamas. Umislavshim begufos ba'olam hazeh, and we are in bodies in this world. It's very hard not to picture ourselves like as neshamas, right? Rev Noach Weinberg, Satzal, when he used to rock his children, he used to hold them and just say, you are a neshama, you're a neshama, you're a neshama, you're a neshama. He wanted to create an energy that the child would know that he's not a body, right? He's a neshama. And our neshamas are very big, huge. You know what Mount Everest? Mount Everest is like a sand pile. It's like a sand pile compared to our neshamas. Because through us coming to this world, we elevate everything. We say it on our tefillah that he put our lives b'chaim. Shehi Torah eitz chaim. He gave us the eitz chaim. Lonosen lamot ragleinu, that he didn't let our feet shake. What does that mean? Who his lavshus haguf shehi madrega shvela. It means our feet are the physical, it's a representation of our body that we came down here. The nikru ragleinu, it's called our feet. Ubezu, a madrega, nikshulu amaragi. And this is what the maragli made a mistake in. Okay, maybe we'll hold it up here. Tell me, Rabosai, everyone's kind of like busy, so I don't want to take up there's another piece, it's another 10 minutes for sure. I can't, but if you guys have another 10 minutes, I'll do it. If you need to go, I don't want to, I don't want to overdo this because the main points, but that means we're going, heading out. Okay, you got to take care of it.
No, not heading out. We're rocking on. We're moving forward.
We're rocking. Okay, we're rocking.
Weiter, Rabbi, weiter.
Okay, we're rocking on. Yeah, Jack is always.
Lolishma, balishma.
Okay, I didn't even have to ask about. I didn't have to ask Jack. Jack is like totally rocking all the time. Yeah. Okay. So he says like this. And this is also just a beautiful overview of the whole parsha. And he says, the smichas haparshis, chala, nesachim, v'tzitzis. So if you go to the parshas at the end of the meraglim, we get 3 mitzvahs. Nesachim, the wine libations, the wine that we poured on the mizbeach. We already discussed chala and tzitzis, right? And we could often wonder, what are they doing there? What are these 3 things doing over there? And he explains. Ki hayo lahem b'midbar gimel matanos tovos. They had 3 gifts, 3 wonderful gifts. Mon, ube'er, va'anania kavod. And as we know, right, they had the mon, they had the well of Miriam, and they had the anania kavod. Well, the chain, kasha lahem, let's say, is min midbar. That's why it was hard, because we're not going to have the mon, we're not going to have the be'er, and we're not going to have the anania kavod, that which it represented in that connection which we had. The Nicham HaKodesh Baruch Hu Osana, the Baruch Shalom comforted us. He appeased us. Ki nishar ha'ara me'ela hagimel matanis. Because it was remaining. Oh, just 1 second, gentlemen. I love you, but it's my wife calling. Just 1 second. Yeah, hi. Still in the middle of the shir. What's going on? Hello. Oh, open the gate. Okay, good. Okay, got it. Gentlemen, just 1 second. I need to take care of some business. I'm the only one that can open this gate over here. Family, we have a gate to our apartment. I always wanted to live in a gated community. It's like it's like my bucket list.
See, Rabbi, we all have things to do.
Yeah, this one's like, that one's like my bucket list, took care of it. Good to go.
The Emes has plans for us.
I want to tell you a funny thing in my bucket list. One thing in my bucket list was, even though I can't travel around anymore, I always wanted to see the Grand Canyon, right? It was like on my bucket list. And sure enough, one time I flew to California, and they flew us directly over the Grand Canyon. Now, at 30,000 feet, you can see nothing of the Grand Canyon. But it was like the birds are like, Charlop, you want to see the Grand Canyon? Here's the Grand Canyon. Okay, was that good? Did I take care of that? Okay. Here we go. The Baruch was Menachema. So these, we're going to have 3 sparks, 3 lights that are going to be left over from these things. Yeah, Yankala. Yankala, can you just put yourself on mute? Thanks. V'chalav and Esachim, Huzeger Mon Ube'er. Wait, the Chalav again. I love you. Okay. So the Mesa, the Chala was the remembrance of. Oh, you took me off. What is that? What is that? Doc, if you want to tell me, you want to say something, because I muted you and you took it off. That's totally cool. I don't mind, but ask to unmute. Okay, you're muted. Good. Okay, here we go. So it says, again, the challah that we take was a remembrance of the month. The nesachim was a remembrance of the be'er. So B'Shem is appeasing us. The tzitzis bechinus hachesed anani yachaved, and the tzitzis which surrounds us is like the anani yachaved. So we have 3 things that B'Shem appeased us with, so that we should feel like, we're leaving the midbar. We're not going to be connected. B'Shem says, I'll give you a smell, a whiff of that experience. I'm going to give you challah. You're going to uplift it. I'll give you nesachim, bring it to my base of Mikdash. I'm going to give you the tzitzis, anei hakavod. You're going to be surrounded. All right. So when you get to the end of the parsha and you wonder why are these 3 mitzvahs here, just remember that they correspond to these 3 things. The cause of the tzitzis l'dorosam. Now, from here until the end, he talks about tzitzis. All right. But that's basically the vort. So basically the vort is, you know what, let me just pause for a second. Let me pause. You know, maybe I'm going to hold it up here because there's a lot. It's a lot to process. We do the last little shtickle, and I know that Daniel, you gave me a thumbs up, but like this, again, I'll try. I'm going to do a little review. It's already like later over there. If I can still get a thumbs up to finish off the least speed, I'll do it. But let me just. The Kasha was, Klai Yisrael was so excited to get to Torah, Nasav and Ishma, right? Amazing Madregas, like Malachim. They weren't going to die. And then go to Eretz Yisrael, can't do it. What happened? Tzfas Emes says, because there's an aspect of Torah that the Baruch Hashem hid in Eretz Yisrael, and through our avoda, we pull out the sparks of the Kedusha. We know, listen, I'm not getting into this, but there's people know that if you work, I don't know if you've got any of these healers, they talk to your body, whatever. There's so much wisdom in the physical, right? And that physical wisdom is what we couldn't see. And we still don't quite see it. So we don't quite understand, why don't we not just doing spiritual things? Teretz says, Hashem says, to get to those sparks, particularly in Eretz Yisrael, and I would say that any avoda can do that. But particularly in Eretz Yisrael, where there is the Torah, so to speak, is hidden away. The good of the Torah, the beauty of the Torah is hidden away. And that's what the Baruch Hashem wanted us to learn, and we didn't really understand that. And then we just said, you know, just and then to realize that our neshamas are way up there, like way up there. But the Baruch Hashem says, good, but I had a job for you. I want you to come down. I want you to uplift everything, and particularly the uplifting that we have is through the taking of challah. And again, please remember to tell your wives that the pashut they are fulfilling the tachlis of the ganze bria by taking challah. And the mitzvah, in the same way they didn't have, in the same way that they stayed strong with the I never heard this. I'm now making up a chiddush. The same way they stayed strong in the midbar and they didn't fall in their faith that Hashem would take us in. So they do the mitzvah of challah. They're the ones who uplift it, right? No, David, it's a possibility. Possible. Efshir, right? And then we just said at the end, you have the three mitzvahs. We have the three great things we had in the midbar was the man, the be'er, nani had covered, and then we have opposite that. The man was the challah, the be'er is the sochin, and the nani covered is being surrounded by the tzitzis. Okay, Rabosai, Ashreinu, you know what I mean?
Rabbi.
If you're Polynesian, you will never get to learn a Tzfas Emes like this. You know what I'm saying? You know, Puerto Ricans are wonderful people. They're fine people. They'll never get to learn a Tzfas Emes like this. Ashreinu. Okay. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Rabbi. Thank you.
Yeah, good Shabbos.
Daniel?
Good Shabbos, Rabbi. Good Shabbos. Thank you.
Move forward. That's it.
Yeah.